of the Sultan. We are talking about days we were crowns in it. Then the feet trampled us. It is the sunnah of the most gracious in the life of
We, the Sultan's harem,
of the Sultan. We are talking about days
tell the story of the days we were worn as crowns
then the
before we were trampled into dust.
It is the sunnah.
This is the merciful's design in human life, the turning of the days. I welcome you again, my dears. Here we have met again. Today I meet you in the open air, here inside the castle. I have prepared the surprise for you. I will not bring you a sultana or a princess, but I will bring you Al-Gulshana herself. She is a strong, intelligent and conscious woman for whom everyone shows great respect. And yet she is neither a princess nor a sultana. My people in Cairo called her Miskah, the musk lady, because she used to perfume money with musk before giving it away as charity. The men of the palace called her Haddak, meaning sharp-eyed, because her eyes were in all the wings and corridors of the palace. Here, at the ruins of the Ablaq palace, we will find her.
The name you know me by is Miskah, a title that overshadowed my original Persian name, Gulshana, or even my other name, Haddak. Some might confuse the details of my life, thinking I was a wife to my lord and master, Sultan Al-Nasir Muhammad ibn Qalawun. But the truth is nobler and more profound than that. I was not his wife. Rather, I was the governess of his children, their custodian, the keeper of his secrets, and the chief stewardess of his court, Kahramana. I was the eye that watched over them as children, and the heart that remained loyal to him as a sultan, both at the height of his power and in the depths of his ordeal. I was born in the lands of the Mongols and came to the heart of bustling Cairo with the caravan of Hawand Ashlun, the mother of my lord Al-Nasir Muhammad. In that vast palace, his mother chose me to be the wet nurse and governess for that young prince whose fortunes would turn with the days. I lived with him through his 3 reigns, with all their glory and anxiety. When he was deposed from his throne, I did not leave him, and when he was imprisoned, I was with him, enduring the bitterness of those days, strengthening his resolve and sharing in his hardship. He was a son my womb never bore, and a sultan for whom I was a pillar of support in the shadows. God blessed me with abundant wealth and influence in the state. I was not merely a woman in the harem palaces. I became the Kahramana, the manager of the palace's affairs and overseer of immense wealth. My word was heard and my counsel was sought. But I realized that wealth and power are fleeting, so I chose to immortalize my memory with what is more lasting. I did not bear a son to carry my name, so I made my deeds my children. I directed my wealth to serve the people. I would provide for poor brides, feed the hungry, and aid the distressed. And the greatest thing I left behind is my mosque and my school in the Saida Zainab district. That edifice I endowed to be a beacon of knowledge and a sanctuary for the devout, and which I chose to be my final resting place, so I could remain in the heart of the Cairo I loved.
Court conflicts when sisters become enemies. From my position in the heart of the palace, I witnessed what few eyes have seen. I saw Sultan Al-Nasir Muhammad, despite his awe-inspiring presence and power, suffer from the conflicts among his emirs, who were also his sons-in-law. He had married his daughters to the most powerful emirs of his state, thinking this would secure their loyalty, but instead it ignited a fire of jealousy and rivalry that nearly consumed everyone. The most prominent of these emirs were Khosun and Bashtak. They were like two cockerels in a single ring, each seeing himself as the more worthy and powerful. Khosun married one of my lord the Sultan's daughters, and Bashtak married her sister. Instead of uniting them, this kinship through marriage divided them and intensified their fierce animosity. This feverish competition moved from the men's court to the women's palaces. The sisters, daughters of the Sultan, found themselves in a cold war, each siding fiercely with her husband, boasting of his power and influence over her sister. Their gatherings became arenas for showing off and vaunting, each seeking to prove that her husband was closest to the Sultan's heart and the most magnificent in stature.
I saw with my own eyes how sisterly love turned to jealousy, and how politics and the ambitions of men ravaged the bonds of blood. And it was not limited to just them. I remember well the story of Emir Muluk Timur al-Hijazi, who was one of the Sultan's closest confidants. The Sultan married him to another of his daughters, and the conflict between him and the other emirs was at its peak. Each of them built luxurious palaces, held extravagant banquets and lavish gifts, not out of generosity, but as a display of power and influence before the others, and before the Sultan himself. These conflicts broke the Sultan's heart as he tried desperately to maintain a balance between these rival emirs. I saw how he grew weary of their endless disputes, which poisoned the tranquility of his final years of rule. The palaces of his daughters, which he had intended to be homes of happiness, became theaters of jealousy and discord. And their husbands, whom he had intended to be his allies, became tools of demolition against the stability of his state. Not a year had passed since the death of Al-Nasir Muhammad before intrigues brought down Emir Bashtak, whose palace still stands on Al-Muiz Street. Neither his status nor the fact that he was the husband of the late Al-Nasir Muhammad's daughter could prevent the Mamluks from turning against him. Bashtak felt the noose tightening around him because of his rival and brother-in-law, Khosun. Although he decided to leave Egypt for Syria and asked the new Sultan for permission, which was granted, it never came to pass. Bashtak gave generously to the Mamluk emirs, bestowing gifts and fortunes upon them. When he was told this was too much, he said, "This is what they covet and would kill me for. I give it to them today, not tomorrow." Because of his excessive generosity, the common people made him a symbol of extravagance, coining the rhyming phrase Hastaka u Bashtaka to signify lavish spending, a secret you may not have known. Bashtak's enemies used this very generosity as proof of his ambition for the Sultanate and of his attempt to turn the people against the Sultan. As for Khosun, he was a cunning and sly strategist. He continued to appoint, depose, and kill the sultans from among the sons and grandsons of Al-Nasir Muhammad until he drank from the same cup he had filled for others. The Mamluks incited the people who despised him, and they revolted, storming his palaces and plundering everything within. The Mamluks arrested and killed him. His rapid ascent was the cause of his even faster fall. But the most astonishing scene I ever saw in my life is one I will never forget. When Emir Khosun was arrested and sent to Alexandria, he met there the third son-in-law of Al-Nasir Muhammad, Muluk Timur al-Hijazi, whom he had himself imprisoned in the Alexandria citadel. The return of Muluk Timur al-Hijazi to the citadel of Saladin was a cause of such joy for his wife Tatar al-Hijaziyah, the daughter of Al-Nasir Muhammad, that she began to beat tambourines and hold celebrations, aided by her sister, the widow of the slain Bashtak. At the very same time, their third sister, the wife of Qalawun, was weeping and screaming. It was a truly absurd scene. Yesterday, the opposite was true. This weeping one was joyful, and these two celebrants were weeping. Muluk Timur al-Hijazi's political passivity and his inclination towards luxury and ease were factors in delaying his own murder until the year of my death, which was the same year he was killed. Al-Nasir's daughter, Tatar, wept for him, and when she saw my endowment of the mosque and school, she knew that power and the sultanate, which had divided siblings and sown hatred between them, were all ephemeral. She knew I had chosen what endures. That is my story in brief. I am Miskah, or Gulshana, the woman who came as a stranger from a distant land to become the heart of the Mamluk Sultanate. I was not the wife of a sultan, but I was a maker of some of what defined his era and a witness to his greatest glories and his cruelest tragedies. And I chose for my immortality to lie not in lineage or title, but in a good deed and a thriving mosque that would remember my name with mercy.
We are the harem of the Sultan. We are talking about days we were crowns in it. Then the feet trampled us. It is the sunnah of the most gracious in the life of
We, the Sultan's harem,
of the Sultan. We are talking about days
tell the story of the days we were worn as crowns
then the
before we were trampled into dust.
pulled us. It is the
This is the merciful's design in human life, the turning of the days.
life of
Wait for us at 8 p.m. for the series The Sultana's Harem, telling the story of what the days have done to them on the Egypt 4K YouTube channel every Friday.